More than just beeps and squawks, amateur or ham radio has evolved over the years to include digital communications. Much like other text communications, new amateur digital modes utilize the radio waves not only to send messages, but provide position reporting for emergency communications. And ham radio is being used more and more for emergency communications after disaster strikes.
Well, let me just go back, and we're going back a few years, but Katrina, at one time, that's all they had for communication was ham radio. And approximately nationwide, there were about 1,000 men that went down there. Some of them went back and forth, and they set up communication, and they were using long-range communication on food trucks and water trucks and so forth. The ham radio operator would ride with them, put a mag mount antenna on there, and where they could talk 40-50 miles, and that was the communication with the truck. Cell phones were out, everything was out in Katrina. So that's what we do if there's an outage, try to go in and help out during hurricanes and tornadoes and that sort of thing.
Ray Schultz is a veteran when it comes to ham radio. He's been a licensed amateur radio operator for over 38 years and spends much of his time using it for hobby purposes now that he's in his 70s. Morse code is still one of his favorite modes of communication, but it wasn't always just a hobby.
I was in Midland, Texas. Bob Cox was my principal. I was his assistant. He had a son, Mark Cox, in Africa. Mark had no telephone service. Letters were about a 10-day delay, both directions. And we made contact with, they had a station and an operator where Mark was. He wasn't an operator. We made contact with him at 5 p.m. on nearly every Friday. And Bob was there, and we communicated with his son. We set up an aircraft. Bob went and joined his son the last 2 weeks he was in Africa, and we told him when the flight would arrive and what all. And Mark made all the requests, and I never will forget. He says, "Dad, bring some Snickers."
So this is all using ham radio.
All using this only communication with him for that year.
The Brownwood Amateur Radio Club will be welcoming visitors through Sunday morning at the Red Cross building on Adams Street in Brownwood during the Field Day event. For the Brownwood Bulletin, this is Matthew Hinman.